Listen to this video tutorial carefully. There are some very important points here that will be applied in all forms. Let me remind you that an asana position of the body in space is nothing more than a provocation. Our task is to learn to maintain a stable, content, even, and harmonious state, and by provoking ourselves with different forms to preserve this state. That's why it's important to take into account the 5 main muscle locks. The first lock is called Mula Bandha. This is the contraction of the urogenital diaphragm. The second lock is called Uddiyana Bandha, or the abdominal lock. This involves drawing the navel inward and slightly upward toward the diaphragm. The third lock is Jalandhara Bandha, or the throat lock. It can be done in several ways. It's enough to simply lower your chin toward yourself, as if making a nodding motion, and stretch the crown of your head upward. You can do a more intense version where the chin is lowered all the way to the notch at the base of the ribs. The fourth lock is the tongue directed toward the upper palate, just behind the teeth. And the fifth lock is Shambhavi Mudra, or gazing toward the space between the eyebrows. Now I'll explain the purpose of each lock. The first lock is necessary to activate the pelvic floor muscles and connect the legs with the torso to control the position of the body and to maintain stability. All of this is part of the deep muscle group. The second lock is necessary to enhance the functioning of the gastrointestinal tract, and it is also very important in various forward bends and back bends. It is specifically the abdominal lock that stabilizes the lower back and as a result eliminates any back pain. The third lock allows you to maintain a balanced state because the carotid sinus is located on the carotid arteries. This is a special sensor that enables you to enter a state of relaxation and recovery. In other words, lowering the chin creates slight pressure on the carotid sinus, and this immediately brings about a state of relaxation. Directing the tip of the tongue upward toward the palate allows you to close the major circuit of life force circulation. The fifth lock, Shambhavi Mudra, enables the activation of the higher endocrine centers, that is our pituitary gland. The point is that when the gaze is directed upward, the optic nerve is stretched. And in the center of the head, there is a structure called the optic chiasm, which begins to affect the pituitary gland, thereby stimulating it. Moreover, directing the gaze upward also controls the position of the body in space. After all, absolutely all muscle-fascial connections are linked to the oculomotor muscles. So the task is to unite all these 5 muscle locks and feel them as a single homogeneous muscle. To do this, we will proceed as follows. Stand in a comfortable position. Slightly bend your knees, turn them a little outward, feel the inner and outer parts of your thighs, lower your tailbone slightly and sense the tension in your glutes. Pull your pubic bone upward and draw your navel slightly inward. Then open up your shoulders and shoulder blades, lengthen from your pelvis, stretch your neck, reach upward with the crown of your head and lower your chin slightly. Now focus your attention on the pelvic floor area, contract the pelvic floor muscles and pull in your navel. Feel the unity of these 2 muscle locks. Then, continuing to lengthen through your whole body, stretch your spine and bring your chin toward yourself. Feel a gentle tone in the neck area. At the same time, direct the tip of your tongue upward and then gaze as far as you can. Your eyes can be closed or open, whichever is more comfortable. And now activate Ujjayi breathing. As you inhale, begin to intensify all these muscle locks, aiming to create a uniform tone. Inhale,